Baja California, Mexicali, with Professor. Danos tu nombre, por favor.
Me llamo JoseLuis Pizano Andrade.
JoseLuis Pizano Andrade is going to give us a brief history as to this Chinatown in Mexicali, Baja California, this November 22nd, 2022. A ver, díganos.
Sí, nos estamos acercando a la zona conocida como barrio de la Chinesca, donde se asentaron los chinos que llegaron del Valle de Mexicali hacia esta zona para aprovechar el comercio con Estados Unidos y establecerse.
Many of the Chinese families that came and migrated here to establish themselves so they can take advantage of the opportunities of commercial life here between the United States and Mexico.
Aquí establecieron algunos casinos clandestinos.
Many casinos, clandestine casinos, opiates, smoking areas or locations. ¿Qué más?
Y así que ellos recibían pues mucha visita.
So they would get a lot of visitation from
muchos artistas,
but also many artists, famous artists,
llegaban a esta
would
zona
come to this zone,
buscando consumir
consume
el opio o alcohol que estaba prohibido en Estados
prohibited
Unidos.
in those times in the U.S.
Así que creció mucho el
So
comercio.
this commercial zone grew in big strides.
Hicieron una gran cadena de comercio y llegaron más chinos.
There was a great chains of commercial businesses that were very successful, and additional Chinese folks arrived looking for the same opportunities.
Y hoy en día son muy
Now
reconocidos
today they're well recognized
por la comunidad mexicalense.
well, from all the community of Mexicali for their strong work ethics, and they're integrated into the society.
Ellos ya se han integrado junto con la comunidad de Mexicali y han crecido numerosas familias.
Numerous families have grown to
ya
been
son
very successful and have
producto de la unión de
product of the unity
mexicanos
and
y
union
chinos.
of alliances and ties between the Mexican community and the Chinese community.
Aún ellos siguen fortaleciendo su cultura.
They continue to fortify, cultivate their culture despite the successful integration of Mexicali society.
Tienen escuelas.
They have schools that maintain Chinese traditions, so they would go to regular Mexican public schools, and then they would then go an after school for additional session of their own Chinese culture.
Hoy en día el comercio existe por todo Mexicali. Podemos
now today we can appreciate all the commercial contributions and observe the
gentes de la comunidad china,
the successful folks and families that own businesses of the Chinese community here in Mexicali, Mexico.
Así que vamos a hacer el recorrido.
We're going to take a little walk, remembering that the tunnels that have built. Again, the tours are on weekend. Today, during the weekdays, Tuesday, November 22nd, we will not be allowed to go, but I will demonstrate a few shots of this area. Pues vamos. Let's go see again Chinese community and Mexicali. Again, reminds me many of Fresno, California, Fresno County, where there's a tradition of Chinese culture and historical sites that have been preserved and recognized in Fresno County. We're making a comparison to those traditional Chinese families that also came looking for opportunities here in Mexicali, California. As our professor tells us that there were many that died when they embarked in Sinaloa, and when they tried to cross Sonora or Sinaloa? Sinaloa desert, where many lost their lives due to the hot weather, desert, and so many of the waters were called aguas chinescas. Let me take a step back over here. Mr. Jose Pizano, usted se crió también aquí, ¿verdad?
Sí, sí, pues los primeros años de mi infancia hasta que
Mr. Jose Pizano grew up as a young
estudié
man.
mi
studied
carrera profesional como profesor
as a
también.
professional
Fue aquí
instructor.
en Mexicali.
He was here in Mexicali, and in fact, all his family, toda su familia ha sido educadores, a family of
Sí,
educators.
De los 8 hombres que somos, 5 hemos
Out of
sido
8 males,
maestros.
5 have become an accomplished professional career in teaching. Myself, I, Eliseo Gamino, president of the Central Valley Leadership Roundtable, met Mr. Pizano at Rain City School District in Fresno County, and so we took this tour. He's showing us a mural of the opiates salons, if you will. Now there was also había también gente y familias de Japón.
Principalmente chinos, japoneses.
They were mainly Chinese families, and I'll do a close up here. As many stars and famous folks would come and seek these casinos and Chinese businesses as businesses boomed. And the mystical dragon that is always a part of the tradition. It comes, I guess, with the experience of migrating and reestablishing themselves here. Mr. Pizano, you were saying, nos estaba contando.
Nada más que es representativo de la mafia china.
A representation. Mr. Jose Pizano wants to point out that there was the clandestine element that also evolved in here at a border town, Mexicali, California. Well, Mexicali flourishing the business from California. They wanted to capitalize on all the business that came from the U.S. So let me rephrase that. As we continue, prominent figures of the Chinese leadership at the time and culture.